In these next examples, we are asked to write our equation in standard form and then find center, radius, domain, and range. So that tells us that we need to complete the square. So remember when we do that, when we have our equations, we need to order them as our x squared term and then the x term plus blank for our number, y squared, then the y term plus blank for the number. We're going to move this to the other side of the equal sign, and then we'll have two blanks with that. Okay, so I'm going to start by reordering and then adding space for my blanks. So I will have x squared minus 10x plus blank plus y squared plus 8y plus blank equals negative 16 plus blank plus blank. Okay. So the first three terms we are factoring. The second three terms we are factoring. And the right side of the equal sign we are going to combine. So this will combine into x minus 5 quantity squared. So remember, to get this number, we're taking whatever this is and dividing it by 2. And then whatever we write here, we square it to get the number in the blank. So 5 squared is 25. And then I also need to put that into the first blank on the other side. And then we're going to do the same process with the y values. So I'm going to take the middle term with y, so that 8, and divide it by 2. So this will be y plus 4 quantity squared. And then 4 squared will give me 16. So that goes in this blank and in the other one. Okay. So again, these three terms factored into my first group. Second three factored into the second group. And now I am combining those to get 25. So now that my equation is in standard form, the center will be 5, negative 4, and then the radius, so square root of 25 is 5. So from that, my domain, so 5 minus 5 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. And then my radius, range, so negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9, and negative 4 plus 5 is 1. Okay. So this would be my entire answer for this problem. And then now I'm going to go through that same process for this one. So I'm going to start by reordering, and as I reorder, I'm going to leave space to add in my own numbers. And since I'm a little crowded, I'm going to use a different color. So I will have x squared minus 4x plus blank plus y squared plus 6y plus blank equals 12. And then I'm going to need to add those same numbers. So for these first three, this will factor into x minus 2 squared. So again, negative 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. And then if I square this number, that will be a 4. And then I need to put that in the first blank on the right side of my equal sign. And then I'm factoring my next set. So this will be y plus 3 squared. So again, I'm taking 6, dividing it by 2 to get 3. And then 3 squared is 9. And that will have to go into the second blank. And then the three numbers that I have written down here vertically, I am just adding those together. So 12 plus 4 plus 9 is going to be 25 again. So here's my equation in standard form. So the center will be 2, negative 3 with a radius of 5 again. And then the domain is, so 2 minus 5 is negative 3. 2 plus 5 is 7. And negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2 for the range. So this is my answer for problem 5. Okay. Now keep in mind, for these kind of problems, when we complete the square, so I'm going to change colors again. So let's say I had the equation x squared plus y squared plus 10y equals 7. So notice how I don't have a pair with the x squared. I just have a y squared and a y term. So that means that I don't have to complete the square on the x part, just on the y's. So if I did that, this would give me x squared plus y squared plus 10y plus blank equals 7 plus blank. So since I'm only adding in one number, then I only add one number on this side. Okay. So again, as I keep going, this would be x squared, and then these three terms would factor into y plus 5 quantity squared, and then that would give me 25 in my blank. And then if I combine the 7 and 25 together, that would give me 32. So this is the equation that I would work with. Okay. So anytime we are completing the square, we only do it if each variable, each square term has a pair that goes with it. So if it doesn't have a pair, then I don't complete the square on that part of the equation. And then one more thing, just to make sure, cover all my bases. So this is still going with that last part, so I should have left myself a little bit more space. But let's say I had 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 8x minus 12y equals 8. So notice how I don't have ones in front of those squared terms. So if that's the case, then my first step is going to be to divide everything by whatever those numbers are. And for a circle, these will be the same number. Otherwise, it's not a circle. It would actually be an ellipse, which we're going to talk about in our next section. So you would need to divide everything by whatever this number is, and then you would go into your completing the square process.